Hey everyone, Daniel Vadnal here for Fitness FAQs. Today's video, if your goal is to get jacked and build as much muscle as possible, this is the video for you. We're going to be using gymnastics rings to go through a workout routine to build the most amount of muscle possible. Now, especially if you're looking to get bigger for summer, this is definitely the video for you. If you just want to get jacked in general, this is also the video for you. If you're wondering, why am I so white, the pasty skin? On the other side of the world, guys, it is winter. So I'm from Australia and it's currently winter time. So we're currently jacked, but not tan. This video is going to include 6 exercise videos. We're going to do pull, we're going to do push, and I'm going to show you guys how to do it correctly. To the video. To start off with, we're doing chin-ups. Now, I really want you guys to pay attention to the execution of how I'm doing these chin-ups. So I'm using a 3-second eccentric and a 3-second pause at the top. So nice and controlled on the way down and a nice pause at the top of the exercise. When I'm counting this in my own head, I don't like to count the seconds because it throws off how many reps I'm doing. Instead, at the top, I like to take in 3 breaths in and out and then 3 breaths in and out on the way down. That way I'm roughly going at about 3 seconds when I'm doing those 3 breaths. Just allows me to be mindful of how many reps I'm on, as well as really trying to make sure that I'm doing the exercise correctly and really trying to contract my back as hard as possible, trying to contract my biceps as hard as I can to really get that mind-muscle connection, get that awareness of good form, good technique, so it'll translate to more muscular development. With the chin-ups, I want you guys to use an accumulation target. The reason for this is because when it comes to building muscle, the most important thing is total volume. So I'd much rather you guys achieve more overall volume split across more sets than 1 or 2 sets to failure. Very ineffective to do that style of training. You're much better off more total volume, more total reps with a good time under tension spread across more sets. Plus, it's a more enjoyable way to train because you're constantly on the verge of your limit. You're not reaching it in any one set. When you're doing the dips, guys, the most important thing to do each rep is to do a full lockout at the top. I want you guys to externally rotate the rings, ensuring that you're in a full lockout position. This is going to fully activate your triceps, ensure that you're using a full range of motion, and get you the best results. When you come down, go as far down as your flexibility allows, getting a really good stretch through the chest, and then once again coming up to the top, full external rotation, good clean form every single rep. And the tempo that I like to use for this, a 1-second pause at lockout and roughly a 3-second eccentric is going to ensure that you own each rep, not that the rep owns you. When it comes to doing rows, the average person that I see, especially if their goal is to build muscle, does them incorrectly. They blast through the reps with really loose form and they wonder why their back doesn't grow. The reason why it's not growing is because you're not doing the exercise correctly. I like to get a nice pause at the top of the movement for 1 to 2 seconds, slowly lower myself down, allowing the shoulder blades to relax at the bottom before continuing into the next rep. Keep your glutes engaged, keep your hips pushing forward. You want to maintain a nice rigid posture as opposed to getting that banana back action that's really common. Make sure that you're staying tight, really squeezing hard, especially at the top, and doing every rep correctly to ingrain good habits, full range of motion, full muscle activation, better results. The shoulder push-up, as the name suggests, is fantastic for developing mass through the deltoids, as well as your other pushing muscles, so your chest and your triceps. I like this exercise because it's a nice regression of a handstand push-up, but it's harder than the version where you do the exercise on the floor due to the instability element from the rings. With this exercise, you want to walk your feet closer towards your hands, so you're in a pike position. This is going to mean that your hips are relatively over your hands, so you're in a stacked position. This is going to ensure that your weight is shifted forward so that your shoulders are doing all the work. Then you're going to come down into a tripod shape with your head going further forward of your hands. So at the bottom forms a triangle shape, tripod shape. Then from here, you're going to push to full extension, opening up your shoulders as much as you can, almost trying to replicate the top of a handstand. This is an awesome exercise because we can build volume. We can do a large number of reps in a very short period of time, and it's stimulating that overhead pressing motion that we'd like to do, say, with a handstand push-up, but we get the added benefit of doing the exercise on the floor in a safe position on the gymnastics rings. So you don't need to be a handstand beast to get the benefits of this overhead pressing exercise. I'm excited to show you guys this next exercise. It's called the rear delt fly. This is going to light up the back of your shoulders. So really important, especially with back training, we want to hit those smaller muscle groups on the backs of our shoulders to ensure full rounded shoulders, which is going to look powerful and dominant in your physique. When you do this exercise, guys, the intensity gets hard very quickly. So you'll notice when I'm doing this, I'm in a really vertical position, and that's because, put simply, the exercise is bloody hard. It's really hard to do, especially in the higher rep range, when you're being correct and honest with your technique. So when I'm doing this one, I like to keep my elbows as straight as I can. Sometimes the elbows can bend a bit when you get really fatigued. That's cool. Just try and keep them as straight as you can. From here, you're gonna really try and open up through the chest, squeezing the shoulder blades back together at the top. And the important thing here, as you come back down, don't just let your body flop. You've got to control it on the way down. This is when you're really going to feel the exercise on the back of your shoulders as you come back to the hands together position. Play around with your body posture, be relatively vertical. We're doing this one for higher reps because smaller muscle groups, such as the ones on the back of your shoulder, respond better to higher rep training like this. Lastly, we're going to finish up with some tricep dips. You're probably looking at me do this and you're thinking, this exercise is really easy. I've thrown this one in at the end to really smoke your triceps, finish them off once and for all, and it is harder than it looks. The reason for this is if you do it correctly, by leaning forward throughout the exercise, you're going to feel it heaps in your triceps. 2 different variations for you here, guys. If you're beginner to intermediate, have your knees and hips at 90 degrees. If you're a bit more advanced and it's not that challenging for you, extend the legs out straight. Just make sure that you're keeping your body weight shifted forward to emphasize the contraction through the triceps. If you just stay vertical, it's going to be really easy. If you lean forwards throughout the exercise, it's going to be much more challenging and you'll get more benefits out of it. Guys, when it comes to building muscle, as you can see, you don't need a gym membership. You don't need weights. You don't need expensive equipment. I'm using $50 pair of gymnastics rings here to build my physique. We've done this with thousands of people, guys. We're transforming lives with only bodyweight exercises. It definitely is the answer for building muscle and strength using only your body weight. If you want to build muscle by body weight, I highly recommend you check out bodybyrings.com. This is a comprehensive training program using gymnastics rings to build muscle. Guarantee you guys will not be disappointed. Download your copy today. Cheers guys for watching. Comment below with what video you'd like to see next. Thumbs up the video below if you want to support my YouTube page, and I'll see you guys next week Friday.